If I was restarting today and I was 18 years old, the first thing I would do is get a job. Get a job if you did not have one before when you were 17, 16, and you're still in high school. The first thing I want you to do is get a job, right? Because that's the most important thing. You got to get a job so you can start buying things. You have to get a job so you can build some sort of income, build some sort of discipline. Once you get a job, you're not going to be reliant on your parents to provide for you anymore, and you'll have a better sense of independence, right? Because now you'll be able to buy your own things. You'll be able to go out of your own way and do certain things, take care of certain things, take care of your phone bill, and take care of whatever it is that you need to take care of in your personal life. That's the first thing I would do in 2026 if I was 18 years old. One thing you have to realize is income is the foundation of everything. If you don't have enough money, it doesn't matter how good you are at budgeting or investing, there's nothing, you're going to have nothing to work with, right? So that's why I'm telling you to go out there and get a job. So here's what I would do first. I would get in any legal income as fast as possible. A job, whether it's a part-time or full-time position, any freelancing job, any side hustles that you might know of, selling shoes on eBay, which is something I used to do. I used to sell shoes on Mercury or eBay. I'd buy shoes and then go on another site and then mark up the price like 20, 40, $60 extra and then make some extra cash off of that. That's a side hustle you can start at this age. The goal isn't just a job itself. It's part of that, but it's also learning how money flows. Also learning how money flows, how money comes in, and getting used to money coming in into your pocket and saving it, whether you're saving it and learning how to build discipline and save your money and do the necessary things that you need to do with that money. Instead of taking that money and spending it, I would buy 3 different like piggy banks, you can call them. One for spending my money, one for saving my money, and one for learning skills. And I'd put money into each of those every month or every week. For if you want to do it per week, if you want to do it per month, with whichever one you choose, but do something like that. Just take some money. If it's $90 that you make, right? Or let's use an example. If you're using $90, you'll take 30, you'll put in the spending category, you'll put 30, you'll put in the saving category, and you'll put another 30 in the learning skills. Just for you to build that discipline and build a consistency of actually being able to commit to something. Now let's talk about learning how to invest. If I were 18, I wish someone could have told me this back then, but I would have learned how to invest. I would learn how to invest, how to understand what ETFs are, understand what a Roth IRA is. If you didn't have someone to teach you what these things were, right? I wish someone was able to teach me what I'm telling you right now. So when you receive your money that you're making, whether it's, let's say you make 400, 500 a week, depending on the type of job you have. Let's say you have a full-time job and you're making 500 a week. You can take some of that money and learn how to invest some of that money, right? If you're making 500 every week from your job, you take 50 of that, you take 100 of that, and you start small, because that's the most important thing, is just building the habit. That's the most important thing you have to understand. Building the habit first, then once you actually understand the things that you're going to be investing into and you want to take it more serious, then you'll actually increase the amount of money you're putting into your brokerage account or your Roth IRA, whatever it is that you open. But the first thing that I wish someone taught me was about investing, whether it's investing into broad market index funds, long-term low cost investments. If I were you and I'm 18, I wouldn't try and day trade. I wouldn't try and pick the next stock that everybody's talking about, like Nvidia or a Google. Your brain hasn't understand the concept of investing yet. So why would you take some of your money and go drop it into crypto, a new cryptocurrency you heard about, right? You're just going to get pump and dump and you're going to lose the money that you're making. It's all part of the learning curve, but I want to be able to help you so you're not making certain mistakes that I made, right? So you're not going out there and just putting your money into a meme coin that you heard a random guy on Twitter was talking about. But now instead, you're more disciplined and understand that, okay, investing into ETFs, let's say the S&P 500, which is, the S&P 500 is an index fund which holds the top 500 companies. So you're investing into something like the S&P 500, and then you know, okay, every year it's going to give an annual return of 10%, and at least your money's growing over time and it's compounding. So that's something, instead of taking your money and investing into a random meme coin, into a random new hot stock that you seen on TikTok, but instead you're learning how to play the long game, because usually the people that play the long game are the most successful, right? Investing isn't about chasing the next hot stock, but it's about playing the long game, learning long-term investing. You'll start to understand compounding rewards patience, not just excitement, right? You don't want to be excited about just hopping into a different stock, this stock, Apple stock, Tesla stock. You don't exactly know what you're doing, right? You don't know fundamentals, you don't know technical analysis, you don't know any of these things. That's why I tell you, don't go too much in depth into picking individual stocks, because you're not at that level to understand. As you get more into the game, as you get more skin into the game, then maybe down the line you'll pick a few that where you understand the companies and you understand the whole process and the reason why these stocks are going up, the reason why people are even talking about these stocks. Then you can go out of your way and do something and pick an individual stock. But for right now, think about index funds, QQQ, VOO with Vanguard, S&P 500 ETF, right? Those are the most safe and reliable long-term ETFs where people who start investing get into. Someone your age can get into. At the age of 18, that's the first time you can ever open a brokerage account. So this is the first thing you should be prioritizing when you turn 18. When I say investing into the stock market or investing in general, I don't only mean investing into the stock market, investing into ETFs. I also mean investing into yourself, right? Because the best investment that you can ever make in life is for yourself, right? Whether that's self-care, whether that's going out and getting courses to help you become a better person, or help you learn a new skill, or help you get some sort of mentorship from someone who's already gone through the path of life that you've been through, then you can go out there and pay someone maybe $100, $200 to be a mentor to you, right? To talk to you and to give you practical steps on what to do with your life if you haven't yet figured out some of the things that you want to do with your life. But the importance of having a mentor is very important. Having someone in your life who can relate to you in a way, who's already gone through the path that you've gone through, and who's able to give you practical advice. Lastly, as an 18-year-old, these are some things to not do. If I were 18 in 2026, I would avoid making these mistakes. First, no expensive cars, right? I know sometimes you see on social media these nice cars that you see that become somewhat of a fantasy in your mind that, oh, okay, that's my dream car. If you want to see something on social media and use it as motivation, and say, I want to get to that level to where I can afford this car times 10, right? Then if you're using it as that, I won't condemn you. But if you're looking at that vehicle, like a nice, let's say Dodge or something, and you want to buy that because you see someone else have it, right? And the first $5,000 you ever save up, you go put a down payment on a Dodge. That's not something you should be doing at the age of 18. You should build habits. You should build better discipline in your mind to understand, okay, I might want this car right now, but that's just a need that can come later, right? That's your dream car, but you haven't reached a stage in your life where you can afford that car comfortably. If you try and attempt to buy this car, you're going to put yourself in trouble for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So understand that going out and buying an expensive car when you don't have the money yet is not a smart investment for yourself, for your family. It's not a smart investment for anybody, because in the end, you're going to be the one that ends up suffering because of the amount of money you're going to be paying every month towards that car. You're just going to have to work for that car. You're not going to be able to invest. Your investing plans are going to change because now you have to pay all of that money to this car. And you're not going to be able to save as much, and certain things you're just not going to be able to do. Another thing is, I don't want you to get a feeling of lifestyle inflation, meaning just trying to impress people who don't actually care about any of the materialistic things that you have. Because in reality, people don't actually care. Yes, they might see you, oh, you got this new car, but at the end of the day, who's going to be the one suffering and having to pay this car every month? It's going to be you, right? People will see it and then they'll go about their day. People don't really care about you as much as you think they care about you, right? So just move along, discipline yourself in a way where you don't have lifestyle inflation while you're building these habits, where you're investing, where you're saving. Continuously be consistent with your habits, the good habits. Continuously be consistent with those habits. And then you'll see everything that all the work that you put in throughout the years, while you're 19, while you're 20, while you're 21, you'll see it result into your success when you reach your 30s, 35s, 40s, and you weren't worrying about what other people are thinking about you, or you weren't worrying about what your friend who went out and bought a Dodge at 18 years old and put a $3,000 down payment on the car and was suffering for 5 years because he was trying to pay this car off. So you won't be going through as much as some people were. If I were you, I wouldn't want to feel ready, right? There's never a time to start investing. It's not about, oh, now's the time to invest. The next best time to start investing was yesterday, which means if you're watching this video today, I want you to open your phone. I want you to download any brokerage app. I would recommend Fidelity, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, whichever one you want to use, and go do a little bit of research on opening a personal brokerage account, opening a Roth IRA account, what these type of accounts are, right? Each of them have their own rules and have certain things that certain limitations, certain requirements, right? But they're pretty easy to set up once you get into the app. Most people always delay investing, saving, or even learning because they think they need more money or knowledge, right? But you don't. You need to start messy and improve as you go. That's the most important things. I would be okay with you making some mistakes along the way, but at least you got started. At least you kept on going, right? Because you don't want to be that person who in 5 years when you're 25, 26 are regretting some of the life decisions you made because you didn't start investing. All right, because you didn't start investing in yourself, because you didn't start investing into a Roth IRA, because you didn't know what a stock was, because you didn't know what an ETF was. You don't want to be that person. So that's the most important thing I want you to do. Go invest into yourself, into the knowledge that you're bringing into your brain, so you understand the importance of what I'm telling you right now. You also don't want to take money advice from broke people, right? Broke people know only what broke people are supposed to know. You have to find people who are where you want to reach in life. You want to find people who already have a certain amount of money or who have attained a certain amount of knowledge and are able to help you. Those are the type of people you want to connect yourself with. I'd learn from people who understand money, business, investing, long-term assets, long-term thinking, who are strategic thinkers and who think long-term, who make goals and plans and actually go out of their way and be intentional and attain those goals. Those are the friends that I would make. Those are the type of people, if I were you, I would want to talk to. Those are the type of people I would want to be in my circle, right? I know you grew up with a bunch of friends that you probably went to school with, but sometimes in life you have to get away from those people and you have to kind of separate yourself and become a different version of yourself. So those are the most important things that I want you to focus on in 2026 is investing into yourself, understanding that you don't have to impress others, right? Because you're not living for others, you're living for yourself and your truth. Whatever makes someone else happy is not what makes you happy. You have to understand that, right? Don't find satisfaction in what other people are doing to say, oh, that's what I want to do too. You're pretty much just working off of other people and what other people do. You should always try and be yourself and not what someone else wants you to be or what you think other people want you to be. If you're 18 or you're even in your 20s right now, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be rich quick. You just need to start. Small income moves, simple investments, strong habits. That's how real wealth is built. In this channel, I want to teach you how to understand money. Nothing confusing. I want it to be simple as possible. And that's what I'm going to help you do. Like the videos that we're going to be making and that I'm going to be making are going to be teaching guides. So I'm going to be teaching you how to become a more successful investor, how to become someone who knows how to invest. Especially for the younger generation, I've realized that we kind of have a gap in the understanding of an investment because it's not something that's taught in schools. They don't normally teach us these stuff, right? That's why you have to go out of your own way and teach yourself or just start, right? Not go into stocks, not go into crypto because you don't know what you're doing yet, but long-term assets. And as more videos are dropping, you're going to see some of the content I'm going to be pushing out is to teach and give you practical advice on how to start, right? I'm going to be going through demos, showing live footage of how to actually open a brokerage account. These are certain things that I'm going to start doing. So if that's something you mess with and that's something you're looking forward towards, please like, comment, and subscribe. and tell me what you want to see, what type of videos you want to see, if there's anything that you want to know. And please subscribe. Thank you.